by my embrace is us again. So the XXL Freshman Freestyles are over. That means the ciphers are just beginning, and I wanted to get this video out before the ciphers start. YK Osiris has delivered his freestyle today, and let's talk about how I feel these freshmen performed. We're going to give my thoughts quickly on the freshmen who didn't perform the freestyle and why I feel their motivations are justified, and how I feel everybody else ranked in the competition. Well, not really, well, it is kind of competition, but let's go first off the list, and we got, for me, is going to be Rico Nasty. Rico Nasty completely delivered the appeal of her music in her freestyle for me. She delivered a rebellion against what we've come to know from what most rap expects from women. She's delivered her anger, her wit, her kind of in a way her abrasive behavior and a little bit of charm at the same time. She delivered everything I feel her music stands as in a freestyle and without a beat, and that to me is why she kind of delivered the most. A lot of animation, very kind of theatrical in a way, kind of dark, kind of edgy, just the right amount of edginess to kind of fit the aesthetic of her music usually. So I really did enjoy her freestyle the most out of everyone here. I thought she definitely played to her strengths much more than some others. As it pertains to her and what she's delivered from her art, I think she represented what her music is perfectly in this freestyle. This next one might throw a couple people off, but I'm going to put Roddy Ricch at number 2. I just really like the creativity, and I think he's another person that kind of healthily represented, what his music is and what his music is pretty much all about. Using his fingers as a snap in order to get through. I know a lot of people think that that's somehow cheating, but I don't really think it is. I think it's really creative, and I think a lot of artists are probably doing that in their head anyway, putting some type of 808 or some type of drum in their head to keep rapping. It's not something that you need to have like in actuality or in your face in order to rap over. You can just imagine it if you want to, but I really think that snapping, I don't know, it just added a flavor, it added a sweetness to his freestyle that I don't think any other real art, or I don't really think many other artists were able to think of. I know Designer did it a while ago, but let's face it, I mean, his performance is a little odd. A retelling of his story coming up, as most of his music kind of tells. He kind of got this harmony in his voice, kind of like in order to flow through the freestyle. I really like that. It just kind of played to his strength. Maybe it wasn't, the most eccentric or the most animated kind of freestyle that I've ever seen, but honestly, when it comes to listening to his music and everything I know about him, this kind of played to his strength, and it kind of made me think, dude's creative. He brought something to the table. Next I'm going to put on the list is YBN Cordae. I know probably people are either surprised that I didn't have him at number 1 or number 2, but YBN Cordae gave me pretty much exactly what I expected of him and nothing really more. The baseline of entertainment, I think he met that for what I normally get from his music. I think it's been a good representation of what he's put in his music so far, because for the longest time YBN Cordae has always struck me as a good and decent rapper, but never one that's gone above and beyond the Call of Duty, above and beyond what I've expected of his music. Not to say that that's always a bad thing, because I think, like I said, I think his music is good, but I don't necessarily think he did anything more than what I expected him to do. I think he came with the bars. I think he came with some decent lyrics. I think he came with a decent kind of delivery. But as a standard rapper, I think he was just all right. And I think my placement of him kind of represents how I feel about his music so far. Nothing that's really shocked me, but something that I've definitely been okay and happy with. Number 4 on the list, I got to go with Comethazine. I don't know why Comethazine is such a odd person, or was such an odd person for me to place on this list, because I feel like for the longest time I've been so nonchalant towards this dude's art and what he's putting out. All I really know from dude, or the most popular thing I'll say I know from dude, because I know a lot of stuff from his music, but the most popular thing I know from dude is I walk around like that nigga, finger on the trigger when I put, like, all that bullshit. So musically, I don't know if he's always been this edgy, this dark, this animated, but I definitely enjoyed the theatrics and the performance that went along with his freestyle. I think him playing up off of the kind of insane mentality of putting his friend in the ground or putting people that he knows away. I think it kind of played up the theatrics and made him seem a little bit more edgy, dark, and crazy in his freestyle, which again for me plays up a nice performance because it makes me feel like I'm watching a fucking movie, or like, you know, the new version of American Psycho. I think as a performer he did well. I think he came with some confidence. I think he came with a little bit of wit. And something that I think you could, if you are into that kind of aesthetic and that kind of music, you could probably check out for that reason alone. Again, it wasn't my favorite freestyle, but I definitely enjoyed the performance. I definitely enjoyed the show that he put on, and I think that is more so what a lot of artists don't really get. I feel like, you know, and again, that's kind of what my issue with YBN Cordae was just the lack of overall performance along with the freestyle. I don't think a lot of artists realize how important that is. Number 5, I'm going to put Meg Thee Stallion. She gave me about what I thought she could deliver. Not really saying that I was upset with her freestyle or really impressed with it. I thought there were some breaks in there where it seemed though she was breaking up the flow, and it kind of could noticeably ruin the freestyle in a way. It's not like something that's like gonna destroy the entire thing, but something that I noticed, and it kind of was a little nitpick of mine. Something that for me, a freestyle that isn't that long, breaking up in between is just a little annoying. But I think she represented her music well enough. Very braggadocious, very self-confident, very self-aware, and kind of a callback to her haters, kind of telling everybody they ain't shit, and if you have a problem with me, you should check yourself and not check me. It was about exactly what I thought it was able to be, and I think she did well enough for the content and the subject matter that she's got. Definitely entertaining, but I don't really know if it's a freestyle that's worth mentioning beyond this point. Number 6, I got DaBaby. I know some people might be a little bit put off by his low placement, but in all actuality, I think him going for so long is exactly what people's issue with his music is. I think that freestyle, not only is it a reuse of a freestyle that he's already used somewhere else, don't remember where, but to me, it's just this thing that if you don't really love DaBaby's music because of what he does, his spiel, his kind of method of rapping, his style gets a little monotonous as you continue to listen through his music. I think him going for the duration that he went in this freestyle is exactly why people have an issue with his music being so repetitive and being so monotonous, because it gets old kind of quick. I don't really have an issue with him rapping about what he rapped about, and I definitely think his flow was very tame, really relaxed, really laid back. I enjoyed his performance as well, but I just thought that it got old quick, and I didn't think it needed to go on for as long as it did. He represented his music well enough too, but he also represented the shortcomings of that music to me. At number 7, I got Osiris. I saw in a YouTube comment someone said they don't know if he was aggressively singing or rapping soft, and that really is a perfect representation of what this was. I don't know why the singing just came across as so over the top and so just unnecessarily loud. It wasn't really sung extremely well. I'm not saying the guy doesn't have talent, because he clearly does. I don't think he has a bad voice. I just think a couple people probably told him he could sing, and then he was like, yeah, let me do this shit. Like, don't do that again, man. And then at the end, the winks and the stares to the camera, they just feel really fucking awkward. I feel like I'm being undressed. I'm like, bro, just go, stop. Lyrically, he's not really saying anything. He's not really rapping primarily. Again, to me, it just feels like he's played up the singing. I don't know if he's a singer. I know some people say he's got some songs where he's singing. Maybe his most popular song is singing. I think for him to put it on such a high pedestal to the extent that he needed to do it the entire time is what made me notice the vocal shortcomings that he has, because he was a little off key. I do like that it was a bit rough, but it just didn't work for the duration of it to me. And then last on the list, I gotta put Lil Mosey, because he just seemed the least interested. He gave the least to me lyrically, performance-wise. As far as the theatrics, he just seemed really low energy. And like I said, I don't really have a big problem with Lil Mosey's music, but I think him not having a beat is exactly what makes his lack of presence over any of the music that I've seen or heard from him pretty noticeable. Because when I see him here, not accompanied by a beat or any kind of instrumental or any kind of effects, I realize that he just really falls into blackness. And that's it for the ranking. I got Rico, and then Roddy Ricch, then Cordae, then Comethazine, then Meg, then DaBaby, then Osiris, then we got Lil Mosey for the 1 through 8. Now, I know there were 11 freshmen, and the 3 others were supposed to perform: Gunna, Blueface, and Tierra Whack. And here's my theory as to why they didn't perform. First, Gunna, I don't really think dude needs to perform. I don't think he needs to show out lyrically or do a freestyle or a cypher, in my opinion. He may do one, but I don't really think it's necessary, because most of the people who are looking at this list right now already know who the fuck Gunna is. So I think, to me, doing the freestyle is kind of playing to the politics of XXL and what you are supposed to do. Not necessarily that you have to do it. I don't really think it's in his best interest to perform or become this monkey on stage. I know for a lot of people, this is a way to showcase your skill and showcase what you're bringing to the table, but I don't think Gunna is in the position where he needs to showcase anything. I think at this point, if you don't know who Gunna is, you already are either a fan or not at this point. It's not something that you need to see a freestyle from him to confirm or deny whether or not he's got any kind of talent. So him not performing to me is okay. I don't really think it's bad, and it's nothing that I was like looking forward to anyway. If he did or didn't perform, I'm not really upset. Blueface is an example to me of a guy that has nothing to gain by doing a freestyle and everything to lose as far as his image is concerned. I know a lot of people think he's already a bad rapper, but I think the freestyle would have proved that much more. I'm not 100% sure if he's going to participate in the cypher, but freestyle wise, I don't think I needed to see that. A lot of people were upset that he didn't do a freestyle, but in all actuality, we would have just laughed at him for whatever he put out. He's a large enough artist. I don't really think he needs to do a freestyle to show people he can rap. I'd rather him just rap better in his own music as opposed to using this as an opportunity to do so. But again, I do think that, like, you know, it could have helped, you know, using this XXL as a platform to kind of give more people an introduction to you. I think is a good idea. Which leads me to Tierra Whack, because as someone who found out about her sometime in late 2017, it was a little odd when I saw that she didn't perform a freestyle, but I'm pretty sure she's gonna do a cypher. And I was wondering and trying to ponder why she probably did it, and I can only assume that it's because she wants those people that would have been requesting her freestyle on XXL to come to her own content and check it out. I think it's a smart kind of business move and kind of a way to get more people to go to your own content if the motivation for doing so was strategic. If it wasn't and she just didn't feel right, then fuck it. It's not something that I think was a necessity, but I definitely think her being one of the smaller acts on this list, it would have been something to propel her career to another level. But again, if she's into the method of trying to get people to check her out based off interest, I think it might not be a bad idea. Maybe she didn't want the fans that are into the whole rapping thing. Maybe she wanted her personality to stand at the forefront, which is why she did the ABC little thing that they have on their channel and the interview to kind of get people to see if they liked her personality, and maybe that would get people interested in her music. So maybe that would be a thing. I don't know. Maybe she wants to introduce people to herself in a different way. But as far as everything else is concerned, I think that that was it. You know, XXL Freshman Freestyles this year weren't too crazy. Nothing completely out of the way. The people that performed gave me about what I expected from them, and that's pretty much it. Looking forward to the cyphers, and yeah, I'll see y'all next time. I'll see y'all real soon, and that's pretty much it. Bye. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.